Let me ask you something. When was the last time you looked in the mirror and saw not just your reflection, but your truth? Struggle doesn't come from what's out there. It starts in here. Today, we're peeling back the layers to uncover 9 reasons you're wrestling within yourself and how to turn that struggle into strength. You can't hit a target you can't see. Life without vision is like driving in the dark with no headlights. Where are you going? And more importantly, why? Take the time to sit still, reflect, and set your sights on something that matters. Aim big, aim high, but aim for something. Fear, that 4-letter word rules too many lives, but hear me on this: fear is not your master, it's a liar. Failure is not final, it's feedback. Every stumble, every mistake is a lesson. So stop hiding from fear and face it. On the other side is your freedom. Dreams don't come true just because you want them to. You've got to show up rain or shine, tired or rested, broke or blessed. That's discipline. It's doing the work even when the applause stops. Because success doesn't show up for the wishers, it shows up for the workers. Listen, you're running your own race, not someone else's. Stop looking at the lane next to you and focus on your path. Comparison is the thief of joy. Be grateful for what you have and who you are becoming. The problem isn't the storm, it's the way you think about it. If you're always waiting for the other shoe to drop, you'll never notice when blessings fall into your lap. Change your mindset, and you'll change your life. You can't move forward if you're blaming everyone else for where you are. Your life is your responsibility. Stop pointing fingers and start taking action. The power to change is already in your hands. No one gets through life alone. You need a team, a circle, a community that will lift you up when you fall and hold you accountable when you slip. Find your tribe and lean on them. Pain from the past doesn't belong in your future. Yes, life hurts sometimes, but carrying that pain forever only weighs you down. Forgive, heal, and move forward. You owe it to yourself to let go. Your struggle doesn't define you, it refines you. These 9 reasons aren't a life sentence, they're a wake-up call. So stand up, step forward, and face the struggle head on. Because the only thing standing between you and the life you deserve is you. When you lose sight of where you're going, life becomes a constant cycle of going through the motions without any real purpose. It's like walking in a fog one step after another, but you're not sure if you're moving closer to something meaningful or just wandering aimlessly. Without a clear vision, you're at the mercy of circumstances, reacting to whatever comes your way instead of proactively shaping your future. Vision isn't just about setting goals, it's about understanding why those goals matter. It's about knowing what lights a fire in your soul and gives you a reason to get up every morning. When that vision is missing, everything feels heavier. The challenges seem bigger. The setbacks feel permanent. And even small victories don't bring satisfaction. It's easy to feel stuck when you're unsure of the destination. Finding your vision requires more than a passing thought, it takes deliberate reflection. It's about asking yourself tough questions. What do I want my life to stand for? What am I willing to fight for? What legacy do I want to leave behind? A clear vision doesn't just give you direction, it gives you power. It fuels resilience, focuses your energy, and keeps you grounded when the road gets tough. Without vision, you risk living someone else's dream, chasing goals that don't align with who you truly are. And let's be honest, there's no fulfillment in that. You can achieve everything the world says you should want, but without clarity on your personal purpose, it will feel empty. So it's not just about having a plan, it's about making sure that plan is uniquely yours. Take the time to step back and reimagine what's possible for you. Vision is the compass that will guide you, the foundation for everything you build. Without it, you're just surviving. With it, you start thriving. Fear of failure can be paralyzing, holding you back from taking the very steps that could lead to growth and success. It whispers doubts into your mind, convincing you that making a mistake is the same as being a failure. But here's the truth: failure isn't the enemy, it's a necessary part of progress. Every person who has achieved anything meaningful has faced failure head on, learning from it, growing because of it, and moving forward in spite of it. The problem with fearing failure is that it creates a cycle of hesitation. You overthink, second guess yourself, and end up doing nothing at all. You might convince yourself that staying in your comfort zone is safer, but in reality it's keeping you stuck. Growth doesn't happen in safety, it happens in the unknown and the risks you take and the lessons you learn along the way. Failure doesn't define you, your response to it does. Instead of seeing failure as the end, look at it as a step closer to your goal. Each stumble is a chance to reassess, adapt, and try again. It's not about avoiding mistakes, it's about having the courage to keep going when mistakes happen. The path to success is rarely a straight line, and those detours often teach the most valuable lessons. What's worse than failing? Regret. Regret for not trying, for letting fear dictate your choices, and for never discovering what you're truly capable of. When you allow fear of failure to take the wheel, you shrink your world. You miss opportunities, you avoid challenges, and you never tap into the full potential that lies within you. Let go of the idea that you have to get everything right the first time. Life is messy, unpredictable, and full of trial and error. Embrace that. Take the leap, knowing that even if you fall, you're building the strength to rise again. Fear will always be there, but it doesn't have to control you. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be, and without it, even the best intentions remain just dreams. It's easy to get caught up in bursts of motivation, feeling inspired to chase your goals, but motivation fades. Discipline is what keeps you moving forward when the initial excitement wears off, when the work feels repetitive, and when progress seems slow. Without discipline, consistency becomes impossible. And without consistency, growth stalls. It's not enough to work hard occasionally or to show up only when you feel like it. Success requires daily effort, even on the days when you're tired, discouraged, or tempted to give in to distractions. Discipline is about committing to the process, trusting that the small steps you take every day will add up to something significant over time. The lack of discipline often comes down to a battle between short-term comfort and long-term gain. It's easy to choose what feels good in the moment, whether it's skipping a workout, procrastinating on a task, or giving into distractions. But those choices compound, and before you know it, they've pulled you further away from the life you want. Discipline, on the other hand, is the willingness to endure temporary discomfort for the sake of a greater reward. It's not just about external achievements. Discipline builds character. It teaches you resilience, patience, and the value of hard work. It's not glamorous, and it won't always feel rewarding in the moment, but it lays the foundation for lasting success. The people who achieve greatness aren't the ones who had it easy. They're the ones who kept showing up day after day, long after the excitement faded. Discipline is a muscle, and like any muscle, it gets stronger the more you use it. Start small if you have to, but start. Commit to one habit, one routine, one change, and stick to it. Over time, those small acts of discipline will build momentum, and momentum is unstoppable. The question isn't whether you have the potential to succeed, it's whether you're willing to do what it takes every single day to make it happen. Comparison is a thief that sneaks in quietly, robbing you of joy, confidence, and focus. It's so easy to look at someone else's life, their achievements, their success, their seemingly perfect journey, and start questioning your own worth. But the truth is, what you see is only the surface. You don't know the struggles, sacrifices, or challenges that person has faced. You're comparing your behind the scenes to their highlight reel, and that's never a fair comparison. The problem with constantly measuring yourself against others is that it shifts your focus from your own path. Instead of appreciating how far you've come, you're consumed by how much further someone else appears to be. That kind of thinking creates a cycle of dissatisfaction, making it impossible to recognize your own progress or celebrate your own victories. When you live in the trap of comparison, you lose sight of what makes you unique. Your journey isn't supposed to look like anyone else's. It's yours. The skills, talents, and experiences that you bring to the table are enough. But if you're always looking at someone else's life, you'll never fully step into the power of your own. Comparison also breeds resentment, either toward others or toward yourself. It can make you bitter instead of inspired, envious instead of grateful. And gratitude is the antidote to comparison. When you focus on what you have, on the blessings in your own life, it becomes easier to stay grounded and appreciate the progress you're making. The only person you should compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. Are you growing? Are you learning? Are you becoming a better version of yourself? That's what matters. Everyone's race is different, and the finish line isn't the same for all of us. Focus on running your race at your pace and trust that you're exactly where you need to be. When you ignore your self-worth, you're essentially telling the world that you don't see your own value, and the world responds accordingly. It's not just about how others treat you, it's about how you treat yourself. When you don't believe you're worthy of respect, love, or success, you start settling for less in every area of your life. You accept toxic relationships, you downplay your achievements, and you shrink yourself to fit into spaces that don't deserve you. Self-worth isn't arrogance, it's the quiet confidence that you are enough just as you are. But when you forget this, it's easy to let self-doubt creep in. You start questioning whether you're good enough, smart enough, or capable enough. That kind of thinking doesn't just limit your potential, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You stop taking risks, stop dreaming big, and stop showing up for yourself because deep down, you've convinced yourself that you don't deserve more. Ignoring your self-worth often stems from external validation. If you're constantly looking to others for approval, you'll never feel secure in who you are. The opinions of others become a mirror, reflecting back distorted versions of yourself, and you end up chasing a sense of value that can only come from within. But self-worth isn't something anyone else can give you, it's something you have to claim for yourself. Recognizing your worth means setting boundaries, even when it's hard. It means saying no to things that don't align with your values and yes to opportunities that scare you but are meant for you. It's about standing tall in your truth, knowing that your imperfections don't diminish your value, they make you human. When you embrace your self-worth, you start showing up differently. You carry yourself with more confidence, you make better choices, and you begin to attract the kind of opportunities and people that align with your highest self. But it all starts with you. If you don't believe you're worthy, no one else will either. It's time to stop waiting for permission to see your value and start owning it unapologetically. Avoiding responsibility can feel like a temporary relief, but it creates long-term consequences that are harder to escape. When you refuse to take ownership of your life, your decisions, your actions, and even your mistakes, you give away your power. You end up blaming circumstances, other people, or bad luck for where you are, rather than realizing that your choices play a significant role in shaping your reality. Responsibility is not about self-blame or carrying unnecessary guilt. It's about recognizing that while you can't control everything that happens to you, you can control how you respond. Avoiding responsibility often stems from fear of failure, fear of judgment, or fear of the effort required to change. But the truth is, shirking responsibility only keeps you stuck. Growth begins the moment you stop pointing fingers and start asking, what can I do about this? When you avoid responsibility, you also avoid the lessons that come with it. Mistakes are inevitable, but they are also valuable opportunities to learn, adapt, and grow. Running from those lessons only ensures you'll face the same challenges over and over again. Taking responsibility doesn't mean you have to have all the answers. It means being willing to step up, face the situation, and figure it out. Avoidance can also damage relationships. Whether it's at work, with family, or in your community, people respect those who are accountable. When you consistently avoid responsibility, you erode trust and make it harder for others to rely on you. Accountability, on the other hand, builds respect and strengthens connections because it shows integrity and maturity. Taking responsibility doesn't make life easier, but it does make it better. It empowers you to take control and make changes where needed. It's not about perfection, but about progress, taking small, consistent steps toward becoming the person you're meant to be. Every time you own up to your actions and decisions, you take back a piece of your power. Responsibility is freedom, and when you embrace it, you open the door to a life of greater possibility and purpose. Isolation may feel like a safe haven at times, a way to shield yourself from the world's challenges, but it comes at a cost. When you retreat into yourself, you cut off the very connections that could help you grow, heal, and thrive. Humans are wired for connection, and trying to navigate life alone often leads to a sense of emptiness and disconnection that nothing else can fill. Isolation can creep in slowly. You tell yourself you don't need anyone, that handling things on your own proves strength. But strength isn't about doing it all alone, it's about recognizing when you need support and having the courage to seek it. Isolation often stems from fear of being vulnerable, fear of rejection, or fear of judgment. But in avoiding those fears, you also avoid the opportunities for connection, understanding, and growth. Being alone with your thoughts for too long can also distort your perspective. Problems start to feel bigger, solutions seem farther away, and self-doubt grows louder. Without the balance of outside perspectives, it's easy to get trapped in a loop of negative thinking, where every worry or insecurity feels amplified. Connection with others provides a reality check, reminding you that you're not alone in your struggles and that others have walked similar paths. Isolation doesn't just affect your mental health, it can seep into every aspect of your life. Relationships suffer when you pull away, And opportunities are missed when you're not engaged with the world around you. Collaboration, encouragement, and shared experiences are the cornerstones of progress, and none of these can happen when you isolate yourself. Breaking free from isolation requires vulnerability, but it's worth it. Start small, reach out to a friend, join a community, or open up to someone you trust. Connection doesn't have to be perfect or constant, it just needs to be real. When you let others in, you'll find that your burdens feel lighter, your perspective broadens, and your capacity for joy expands. Life is not meant to be faced alone, and the courage to connect is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. The struggles we face within ourselves are not obstacles, they are opportunities for transformation. Each one of us has the power to overcome the challenges of lost vision, fear of failure, lack of discipline, comparison, ignoring our self-worth, negative mindsets, avoiding responsibility, and isolation. These struggles don't define us, they refine us. They shape our character, strengthen our resolve, and prepare us for greater things. The key is recognizing that we are not powerless in the face of adversity. Every single one of us is capable of rising above our doubts, fears, and limitations. The power to change, to grow, and to create a life of purpose and fulfillment lies within us all. It's time to stop letting these struggles dictate our lives and start using them as the fuel to propel us forward. You are worthy of success, happiness, and all the great things life has to offer. Don't let anything within you hold you back. Take control. Own your journey. Embrace your power. Because the only thing standing between you and the life you deserve is you. Now is the time to break free from your inner struggles and build the life you were always meant to live. Let's get started.